Now, your Eyewitness News morning update.
Good morning. It's now 8:25. Thousands of students are planning to hold school walkouts across the country and the world in solidarity with Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Exactly 1 month ago today, 17 people were killed by a former student at the Florida high school. Students participating will walk out of their classrooms for 17 minutes in remembrance of those lives lost. In Connecticut, Hartford Trinity College Academy, Wilbur-Cross High School, and the Bacon Academy will be just some of the schools participating. And we are looking at live pictures now at the Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. All right, it's time to check in with Scott.
A little bit of snow shower activity on the way for today. We're expecting anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches, maybe even 3 inches in parts of the state due to the fact that these snow squalls are getting ready to move on in. You can see them at 2 p.m. in northwest Connecticut. You can see them at 4 p.m. in northwest Connecticut and down a little bit further to the south. And then it looks like we get a little swath of moisture, some snow around 5 p.m. for inland and the shoreline. And then tonight, still some scattered snow showers. So you can expect anywhere from 1 to possibly 2 inches of snow in isolated areas of Connecticut during the day today. Temperatures today will climb into the upper 30s, low 40s, a chilly day for March. And then your overnight lows tonight drop into the mid to upper 20s. Your 7-day forecast includes some better weather tomorrow, some snow showers on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday look good. 8:26, Nicole's next.
Now, early warning pinpoint traffic, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Good morning. We just had a minor crash on 84 westbound, right around exit 58 or 56, I should say. So as you are approaching the Bulkley Bridge, you will most likely be met with these delays. So it's a little slow going. Also 91 southbound getting pretty heavy. 84, those two crashes in Waterbury did clear though on the westbound and eastbound sides. Drive safely, everyone. Slow it down.
Now, your Eyewitness News morning update.
Good morning. It's 8:57. I'm Caitlin Nuclo. Crews in Danbury spent the night putting out a garage fire on Indian Spring Road. Take a look at this picture. Crews in Danbury spent much of the night there. Officials say the call came in just before 1 this morning. Everyone made it out of the house safely, but 2 cats are missing after they escaped. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. Happening today, to help with the surplus of passengers headed to the City Union Station in New Haven has added extra trains to help with the big crowds headed to the St. Patrick's Day Parade. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority is asking people to buy round-trip tickets from their home stations. MTA police will also be on the lookout for alcohol. A ban went into effect this morning, and it stays in effect until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Also happening today, the USS Colorado will be commissioned. This is the 4th ship to be named Colorado. Officials say this is the most modern and sophisticated attack submarine in the world. And that ceremony starts at 11 o'clock this morning at the Naval Submarine Base in Groton.
Well, it's feeling cold out there, that's for sure. We're going to take a look and see what it looks like out there with our iCam over Hartford. And when we push this forward, you can see the time lapse showing the beautiful sun rising. A gorgeous Saturday is happening, and our wind chills, though, are showing that it's still feeling really cold. In a lot of towns, it still feels like it's in the teens. And later today, even though the thermometer may read something like 38 to 40, it'll feel as if it's in the lower 30s, even at the height of the day. You can see we'll have a partly to mostly sunny sky, though. That's what our futurecast is showing through the morning and into the afternoon. Late in the afternoon, there might be an isolated flurry. That's in your early warning 7-day forecast, but no major consequences for that. And you can see Sunday, another beautiful day as well. Remember, you can always get the Channel 3 forecast on our app. Download it today.
Live from WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at noon.
And we are starting you off with a weather alert. Let's take a live look at our iCams in both New London and Hartford. Dry so far, and we are enjoying another unseasonably warm day. It's great out there, but unfortunately, it's just not going to last. We're expecting big changes as a nor'easter will soon impact Connecticut. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Kara Sundlin here in the Weather Center with meteorologist Mark Dixon, because we've actually had several weather alerts.
Yes, and more could be issued. It's kind of a fluid situation as far as where they're issued, what they're pertaining to, and the area that they covered. So here's the breakdown. Start you off with the flood watch. This goes into effect tomorrow morning, runs through Saturday morning, in effect for the entire state of Connecticut. Now, with regard to the strongest of the wind, we have High wind watches have been posted for Fairfield, New Haven, and Middlesex counties. A high wind warning, a notch above that for New London County. We could see gusts there along the shoreline, southeastern Connecticut, 50 to 60 miles an hour. Inland, we could get gusts to over 40 miles an hour. And then when you take into account the strong wind and the wind direction coming in out of the east and northeast, that in tandem with the high tide cycle and the full moon, we've got a flood advisory up for coastal Fairfield and New Haven counties. This initial tide cycle is 10 o'clock tomorrow morning through 1 tomorrow afternoon. So this could actually impact several tide cycles as we head through, say, the next 36 hours. So with regard to the timing of the storm, starts later this evening and tonight, goes through very early Sunday morning, wrapping up pretty quick on Saturday morning, that is. And then for precipitation types, we're looking at initially rain. We could see 1 to 3 inches across Connecticut, locally some higher amounts than that, especially in eastern and southeast Connecticut. And then as well, accumulating snow, plowable in spots for western and northwest Connecticut, perhaps even northeastern Connecticut. In addition to the precipitation, we're talking about damaging winds again, those gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour, and those concerns from the high tide cycles with the astronomically high tides thanks to the full moon. But right now it's quiet across the state. Clouds have been overspreading the state. Temperatures compared to this time yesterday, 5 to nearly 10 degrees warmer in spots, up to 60 in Newington, 59 Gales Ferry, West Haven's at 58, Litchfield right now at 54 degrees. And our all new early warning pinpoint Doppler, it is scanning clear and dry. It will do so through the evening commute. There you can see the cloud cover continuing to overspread southern New England. The rain not too far from us. It's working, say, toward the Philadelphia metro area right now. Again, that's going to be arriving a little bit later on this evening. That's what we'll see on Futurecast. The clouds continue to lower and thicken, filtering the sunshine, becoming mostly cloudy as we head through the next couple of hours. And then as we head past 7 o'clock this evening, rain begins to overspread the state. Tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., rain. It's going to be coming down at a pretty good clip for the morning commute, but it's not going to be rain from beginning to end throughout all of Connecticut. We'll have the latest on the transition to snow, how much could fall, the latest on this storm track, and what to expect for the weekend and beyond. That's ahead in the early warning 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Mark. We continue our team coverage now on the shoreline, where there is a potential for strong winds, as Mark was telling us, coastal flooding and power outages. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Eva Zamaris went to Old Saybrook to see how people are preparing just ahead of this storm.
It's so beautiful.
It was a beautiful and serene morning in Old Saybrook, but tomorrow it could be a completely different story.
We do as much prep as we can. You take what you can and you plan for some flooding.
Pam Katz's parents live in town. She says they've had flooding issues before.
We have had Sandy and Irene, which were big, huge storms, and they did get quite a bit of damage.
With a storm heading our way, Middlesex County is under a high wind watch. Very little snow is expected near the coast, but coastal flooding is a concern.
We picked this community just because of the seawall out here, so we didn't really have to worry too much about the flooding, but there are other areas down that way in Cornfield Point where they definitely get flooded.
David Harrison and his family have lived in Old Saybrook for less than a year. He says during one of the storms at the end of last year, water was coming up over the seawall.
People were stopping in their cars because they hadn't seen that before and taking pictures, and it is beautiful when they have a storm.
Before the storm hits, here are some ways to prepare.
We asked folks to get their house ready, to take everything that's outside, make it inside. Lawn furniture shouldn't be out blowing around in the wind tomorrow. Have your medications nearby in case you have to leave your house. But certainly if you lose power, do not go outside to find out why.
Chief Michael Spera of the Old Saybrook Police Department is also reminding everyone.
When flooding occurs, because we know flooding will occur, don't drive through the large puddles.
He adds they're ready for whatever Mother Nature throws their way.
To stay up to date on the weather, download the Channel 3 app to get the very latest on this storm. In Old Saybrook, Eva Zamaris, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And as Eva just said, for the forecast, updates, closings, delays, everything in between, you can download that Channel 3 app. We will keep you informed. Thanks, Eva. And we're going on at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Scott, Nicole, Eric, and Irene will have team coverage to help get you through that morning commute. Happening today, the Connecticut Supreme Court is hearing arguments right now regarding the release of some of the Sandy Hook school shooters' belongings. The Hartford Courant and the State Freedom of Information Commission are appealing the decision by a lower judge back in 2016 that police do not have to release the shooter's things. Those items include a spreadsheet that ranks mass murders and a violent story that he wrote as a child. Back in 2012, 20-year-old Adam Lanza shot and killed his mother at their Newtown home and then killed 20 first graders and 6 educators at Sandy Hook Elementary School. The brother of a man abused at the Whiting Forensic Division of Connecticut Valley Hospital in Middletown has now filed 2 lawsuits today. According to the suits, Bill Shahadi, a mentally ill patient at the facility, was regularly kicked, hit, and pushed out of bed by employees. Hours of the abuse were caught on videotape, he claims. 10 Whiting employees have been arrested and charged. Another 36 employees were suspended. Happening today, local leaders will meet to talk about the recent increase in car crash deaths and stolen cars in Hartford. Mayor Luke Bronin called the meeting with regional and state authorities to discuss the problem and a strategy to reduce it. This month, 23 traffic data boxes will go up around the city to gather information on traffic patterns and speed. That would help police better position their resources. Crews in Old Saybrook were able to put out a fire earlier this morning on Boston Post Road. According to the fire chief, police were driving by the Shakahari Indian Cuisine restaurant when they saw smoke coming from behind the building. When officials arrived, they found flames in the kitchen and were able to put them out in just minutes. There was minor damage to the Himalaya Cafe, which is located next door. That fire is now under investigation. A tractor-trailer crash closed 3 lanes on I-91 northbound in Windsor Locks early this morning. The truck carrying bananas overturned around 11:30 last night between exits 42 and 44. No one was hurt. The crash is still under investigation. Here's what we are working on for Eyewitness News at 5. First, will we learn new information about the man responsible for the Sandy Hook massacre? We're following the court case that could force police to release documents belonging to the shooter. Then the debate over sports betting in our state. Officials from major sports leagues are meeting in Hartford today to discuss the possibility of legalized sports gambling in Connecticut. Plus a brand new edition of the Surprise Squad and, of course, your weather every 10 minutes. That's tonight starting at 5. Still ahead here at noon, another business is changing its guidelines for purchasing guns. Plus, a change up at the White House. The staffer that's calling it quits and the latest on her departure. And let's take a look at our iCam over Bradley International Airport. It's sunny today. How's tomorrow going to look? Meteorologist Mark Dixon will be giving us a look coming up.